Hey everybody, welcome back to the Vince Salerno podcast. This is episode 102. As always, I'm your host, Vince Salerno, and today I'm coming at you with a little bit of a short episode. I saw over the weekend, I didn't know this, but I found out like a couple days ago that Destination D23, which is like different from the actual D23, still a little confused about that, but whatever. Destination D23 happened a couple days ago. And apparently there was like a ton of stuff revealed for Toy Story 5. Now, if you're new to this channel, you should probably know that I am a huge Toy Story fan. Ever since I was a kid, it's the movie that made me want to be a filmmaker. It's always been an important part of my life, and I've really connected to those characters even as an adult, especially Woody. And I've always been invested in that franchise. I've grown skeptical about continuing the franchise after 4 because I love Toy Story 4. I know a lot of people don't, but I love Toy Story 4. But going to 5, it just feels like this is not going to be what I think should be the conclusion of the franchise. Because once you get past 3 and you keep going, you risk the quality of this franchise going down. And we already got a major hit with Lightyear. I did not enjoy Lightyear. I thought it was obviously the LGBTQ agenda inserted into the film and kind of the pushing aside of Buzz as this, I don't know. I just see a lot of like demasculizing Buzz, emasculating him in that movie. I got to go into a review of that film one day and get my full thoughts. But I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't think it's the worst film in the world, but it's not a great movie. Now, 5, Toy Story 5, I am excited. I do like the premise and everything. I'm just worried that this is... I'm just worried about the quality. I know you got Andrew Stanton directing, and I believe he's writing the film alongside another writer. And I do trust Andrew Stanton. He's written all the Toy Story films. He's never directed a Toy Story film. So I trust that, a Pixar veteran like him will do the film justice. But I'm just still nervous about continuing this great franchise, this great series of films, and risking damaging the quality of the brand as it continues to go past Toy Story 3, which a lot of people think is a great conclusion to the story altogether. I think it's a great conclusion to Andy's story, but I do believe you can go on and do more films after that. I thought if you ended with Toy Story 4, that's a good way to end the franchise. It's a nice little epilogue to Woody's story. All the other toys have their happily ever after. They're with Bonnie, and they're set for life for at least another 10, 15 years until Bonnie grows out of toys again. But Woody, has this really unique arc in the film where he's not the favorite toy anymore, and he doesn't feel like he has a purpose in Bonnie's life. And it's about him accepting a new purpose, a new adventure, and a new way to live his life as a toy. And it's just a beautiful message. It resonates with me. That movie came out around the time I met my girlfriend, who became my wife. It's just a really special film for me. Maybe one of the most resonant for me in my life at that time. So I look back at Toy Story 4 very fondly. I think it's a really challenging film for not just Woody as a character, but I think for the audience to let Woody have this very drastic, very unique arc that is very different from the previous 3 films. So I think if you ended it at 4, I would have been happy, but they're continuing it. There are some really interesting ideas within Toy Story 5. So obviously it's about toys going up against tech. Jessie, who now leads the group of toys in the movie, she's I guess she's going to have a bigger role than she did in Toy Story 4. A lot of people translate this to, Jessie's going to be the main character of Toy Story 5. I doubt that. It's always been Woody's story, Woody and Buzz's story, and Jessie has always been a great co-lead alongside Woody and Buzz. So I think having her be the lead, it's not Toy Story then. It's the Jessie movie. So I don't want to see Jessie be the lead of this film. I want it to be Woody and Buzz's story again. And of course, Jessie can have a prominent role like she did in Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3. But to make her the lead, I think I just don't want to see that, personally. But anyway, she is the leader of the toys. She's taken Woody's, or I guess, and Dolly's spot as the leader of the toys, because I don't know how that works. But now Bonnie is, I guess, a couple years older, and she gets this lily pad tablet, supposed to be like an iPad that, allows her to message her friends and play games and stuff. And now she's obsessed with technology, and the toys are being neglected. And lily pad is, trying to help Bonnie be more social with friends and all that, which just, raises a lot of questions, and toys are going up against tech. It's a great premise. It's a unique premise, and it gets me really excited. So as far as what got revealed at D23, we've been told that there is this opening sequence in the movie that features this army of deluxe or like anniversary special Buzz Lightyears. And I have an image pulled up right now, put on screen for you guys to see. When we first got a look at these characters, they looked they looked like a normal Buzz Lightyear with like a red dot in the center of their chest. And it looks like they've gotten completely redesigned. And I don't mean like an overhaul redesign, but they do look a little more beefed up. If you look at this image, the green on Buzz is a little more emerald and shimmery and bright. There seems to be this pattern on the black part of his shoulders and the waist elastic part of his torso. I don't know what you call that. The most prominent thing is his chest plate. His Star Command logo is not blue. It's black with like a digital blue logo on it, which is really unique and kind of fun take on Buzz. And then he's got like updated little parts. He's got more grooves and panels and stuff all throughout if you really zoom in on the details. There's one Buzz, it looks like they can extend their arms. If you look at the Buzz on the far left, he's got he's pointing his laser, and his left arm extends out farther than all these other Buzzes. I don't know if that's like an exclusive, like, oh, he's got extended arm action or something. It's a cool design. And and these are going to be like villains or Buzzes in toy mode that are, I'm assuming maybe Lilypad, the villain, is going to figure out how to hack into them and use them as the army to take out the toys or something. It's a fun element. And my fear though, with Buzz, because, Buzz Lightyear is, he's one of my favorite characters next to Woody, and he has not gotten the best representation in the movies after Toy Story 2, I'd say. 3, he had an arc of like trying to, not really an arc, but he was the de facto leader. He was Woody's second in command, and he struggled to follow Woody's orders when he felt like the best path forward for the toys was for them to move on to a new owner, and kind of going against Woody's directive. And then Toy Story 4, a lot of people criticize the Toy Story 4 subplot of Buzz and his inner voice. It makes him look dumb. And I have to go into this in more detail. I won't rant about this right now because I'm trying to make this a quick episode. But I've always found Buzz's arc in Toy Story 4 to be more about, it's connecting to the overall theme of trust yourself, trust your instincts, listen to your inner voice. And Buzz, who's not really the most emotionally intelligent character, but, he's very strategically intelligent, and he understands, he understands the love he has for Woody and his family, but he's not the most, in touch with his emotions and his inner voice. So when Woody says, that my conscience, my inner voice, the little voice inside me, he thinks he's being literal. And that's Buzz's arc from, kind of being a little more emotionally intelligent, learning about what it means to listen to your inner voice. And again, I'll have to go into that arc because I think it is a really good arc for Buzz because it serves Woody's story. But again, I'll go into that another day. My worry is that Buzz is going to be this comedic relief character with these army of Buzzes, and he's not going to have much to do. And, the real Buzz, the main character Buzz, is not going to have much to do as far as an arc because he deserves a lot more in these movies. And the focus is going to be on Woody and Jessie. So my hope is that Buzz and Woody and Jessie all have their own unique arcs, and they all have a lot to do. Because honestly, Buzz had the greatest arc in Toy Story, in the first Toy Story. His arc is fantastic, and it really serves him and Woody's story in Toy Story 2. So, again, my hope as a big fan of these films is that Buzz gets a little more to do. He has a beefier role, more of an emotional role, especially since he's technically become a lot more emotionally intelligent since Toy Story 4. Now, one of the other things that got revealed is this character, Smarty Pants, who's going to be voiced by one of my favorite comedians, Conan O'Brien. I was so excited when they announced that Conan O'Brien was going to be a character in this franchise. I love Conan O'Brien. I think he's one of the best, if not the best, late night talk show host that has ever been. Obviously next to, the legends like Johnny Carson, Jay Leno. Those are my particular favorites, but I think Conan's up there. We got our first look at him at this D23 panel, and he just looks like this. He looks like a roll of toilet paper with, eyes and a smiley face, and buttons and a screen and all that. So it looks like a fun toy. I don't know if this fits into the toys versus tech thing. I don't know if he's going to be a tech guy or like a henchman villain or something to Lilypad, or if he's going to be an ally to the toys, the main characters. We'll see, but I like the design. It's very Toy Story. It's very unique, very cool. So we'll see what happens with that. I think that was pretty much all that was revealed. We got our first official look at Lilypad, who doesn't look very threatening. I don't know if it's a he or a she. Anna Faris has been cast in the film, and there's rumors that she is voicing Lilypad. Also, let's see, Ernie Hudson, who obviously most of us know from Ghostbusters as Winston Zeddemore. He's been cast to replace the late Carl Weathers as, I almost said Duke Kaboom, Combat Carl. He's going to take over that role. So it's cool to see that Combat Carl, or a version of Combat Carl, is coming back, played by Ernie Hudson, who is a phenomenal actor and a great person to take over that role for Carl Weathers, God rest his soul. And that's pretty much everything that got revealed at this panel, at this D23. I mean, there were some things that they talked about Avengers Doomsday, they talked about The Mandalorian and Grogu. They announced a new original animated film called Hexed from Disney Animation. They talked about Zootopia 2. A couple other things I can't really remember, but Toy Story 5 and the reveals for that were kind of the most prominent ones. Obviously, it was confirmed that Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, and Joan Cusack will all be back as Woody, Buzz, and Jessie. The question I have, though, is Bo coming back? Because we haven't heard anything about Annie Potts being back or Bo, and obviously Woody is with Bo now. So her lack of presence in the lead up to the movie in the first trailer is a little concerning. But then again, as we add more characters and more of trying to keep the old characters in the film as well, it kind of gets overstuffed. So I wouldn't be shocked if Bo gets a minor role, which would be unfortunate because I really like Bo Peep as a character. But we'll see. I feel like Pixar is also trying to hold out on as very few details as possible. I feel like they're being forced by Disney marketing or the executives to reveal as much as you can about Toy Story 5 so the stock prices go up and people get excited for this movie. So it's okay, well, let's just show them the same thing we've been showing them for the past 3 D23s. Let's tell them the plot. Let's tell them that the bad guy is going to be an iPad, and let's tell them that there's going to be an army of Buzz Lightyears, and just keep doing that and revealing more details about those particular things, plus the occasional casting update with Smarty Pants and Lilypad and all that. So, it looks fun. It looks a lot of fun. It could be a great movie. We got a brief opening scene from the movie shown, or not a opening scene, the opening scene was shown at the D23. And I watched it. I went against my better judgment. I watched it. It was a poor quality, really bad quality, but I could make out mostly what it was. And it was really striking. I think Andrew Stanton and Pete Docter have talked about how this film is going to have some very unique, challenging, different things that you haven't really seen in a Toy Story film before. One of which I believe is seeing toys on a deserted island. This looks like the shipping container of all these exclusive anniversary Buzz Lightyears gets lost at sea and washes up on an island, crashes open with all these buzzes. And it starts out with just crazy, unique visuals for a Toy Story film. You see, watch this Buzz Lightyear waking up in his perspective, watching the sunrise and looking around, seeing all these Buzz Lightyears and kind of registering what's happened to him. And all the Buzz Lightyears team up and they're trying to figure out where they are, and they figure out they're stuck on this desert island. And then they all look at the stars, and that compels them to rendezvous with Star Command. And so they build a raft and they cast off to sea, and then the constellation of the stars turns into the logo of Toy Story 5. It's kind of a very abridged version of what happens in that opening scene, but I don't want to watch it again because I don't want it to be too ingrained in my memory. But it's exciting. It's visually striking. It's really exciting. And I hope that this movie really challenges what a Toy Story film can be, what it can look like, what it can be about, because I think that's how this franchise endures. Hopefully it doesn't keep going after 5. I really hope 5 is a conclusion of the franchise. Unless they want to do another trilogy and do 6, they want to make a Toy Story 6 and end it right then and there, I wouldn't be disappointed. But Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack, the whole cast, they're really getting up there. So I don't want to see a Toy Story franchise continue without those characters. So that's my thoughts on everything that went down this weekend for Toy Story 5, the announcements that were made. Again, I'm very excited for this movie. I hope it's great. I think it will be. But I also hope that Pixar and Disney are considering, putting this franchise to bed once and for all, because it deserves a stellar ending. And some may debate that Toy Story 3 was that stellar ending. And it's unfortunate that Pixar also seems to be just in a state of, making sequels constantly. I don't know if that's a Pixar mandate or a Disney mandate, because we got, to be fair, we do have some originals coming out. We have Hoppers coming out next year with Toy Story 5, which I'm very excited about. I think the teaser for that was great. You have Gatto, which is like an Italian cat movie coming out. Hopefully harkens back to Pixar's, early days. And then you got Incredibles 3 and Coco 2, both of which are coming out 2028 and beyond. I think Incredibles 3 could be great if you make it a trilogy ender. And knowing Pixar or knowing Disney, it probably won't be the case. But as long as it's better than Incredibles 2, because I did not like Incredibles 2. And then Coco 2 I don't think is necessary at all, but maybe they have a really good story. Lee Unkrich is coming out of retirement to direct that movie. So, you never know. I'm always up for sequels. I'm always up for a new story, as long as it's good. It just has to be good. So, we'll see. We'll see. I'm always cautiously optimistic, and maybe to a fault. But, for now, I'm focused on Hoppers and Toy Story 5, recapturing the original old-fashioned spirit of Pixar, which I don't know if we'll ever get back to, but maybe one day. So yeah, that's my brief little episode on Toy Story 5. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and subscribe to wherever you get your podcasts to listen to more episodes of the Vince Salerno podcast. Coming very soon is my interview with my friend Nicholas M. Crone. He's an independent writer. We get into his career, his thoughts on, culture and movies that have been coming out. And it's a great interview, and I'm really looking forward to having you guys watch it and listen to it. Wherever you want to watch it and listen to it. It's everywhere. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a fantastic day. God bless, and peace out.